Hi, I'm Christy with Capstone, here to give you some helpful tips about the interview process. And this week I want to talk to you about behavioral interviews. Behavioral interviews are those interview questions that start off with, tell me about a time, or give me a specific example where such and such happened to you. And really what the interviewer is trying to get to are certain characteristics that they can see and the way that you've made decisions in the past. Things like working with difficult people, communicating in the workplace, overcoming challenges or obstacles in the workplace, or maybe even your work ethic. So I would spend some time prior to your interview thinking about some of the major projects that you've worked on and their successful outcome. Thinking about times where you've had difficulty communicating with people and how you've worked through that. Maybe even thinking about projects where you haven't had the resources that you've needed and yet you've had to somehow work through and come up with a successful outcome in the end. And be prepared to tell these stories. You'll want to give a thorough example of what your contribution was and how you worked through that problem and what the outcome was, and really show the interviewer that you can work through some tough things, be they large projects or work with more difficult people. Hang on. I think one of the more important things in behavioral interviewing, being prepared is of course very important, but just taking a minute to think before you answer the question is really important as well. Just take a deep breath. Don't feel like you need to rush through the answer. And if you aren't quite sure what the interviewer is asking, definitely get clarification and ask the interviewer to either repeat themselves or to clarify what it is exactly that they'd like for you to share with them. Use your listening skills as well. Make sure that you're using that part of communication so that you do understand what the interviewer is looking for and you can give an appropriate example. Hopefully that helps you prepare for behavioral interviews. Stay tuned for more helpful hints from Capstone.